FIFA almost created one of the greatest tournaments in football, uniting fans from every current footballing hierarchy in the world, from USA's Seattle to Japan's Urawa, from rainy Manchester to sunny Buenos Aires. It looked perfect, but behind the scenes are numerous things that leave question marks over our heads. After countless hours of this topic, the image of FIFA ignoring the purpose of the beautiful game only got more logical. Therefore, is this even a good thing after all is said and done? Grab your favorite snacks, drink something good, and enjoy the video. As football fans, as we have witnessed the joy that international tournaments bring to a country that has the honor to host it, we cannot argue that this isn't a genius idea. Ever since the Club World Cup came to light in the early 2000s, the champion of every continent played there, and then you get the best team from Europe in the mix. It's pretty clear how that went out. And now you have 32 teams from every part of the world, every creme de la creme club from every continent. Well, I don't know why FIFA is hating on Antarctica, but that's a story for another day. With this concept, everyone can see how they would perform on an international level with the clubs, which is an unlocked dimension, but is this even worth it? We already know where the world-class players end up and which continent is at the throne of it all. Since Neymar in 2012, there has been no club outside of Europe mentioned in the Ballon d'Or, and the Brazilian is only the second player to do such in the 21st century. You cannot run away from the fact that Europe's top team get the trophy almost every time, so here's how European cities celebrated some of these last titles. Well, I didn't find anything, but as I said, they won it almost every year, and that one year, 2012, Corinthians won it against Chelsea in the finals, so here's how Sao Paulo celebrated, even being at the Club World Cup. There is something indescribable when it comes to the underdog story. Denmark 1992, Porto 2004, Corinthians 2012. I mean, there are countless other stories every season which leave a huge mark on that year when you think about it later on. And boy, do these South African fans show up, where something like an underdog story is fairly possible with this kind of sport. It's incredible, nothing similar to European serious chants. We are literally talking about orchestras in the stands. Therefore, if someone from Argentina or Brazil even appears in the semi-finals, it will be something you don't want to miss. I can't even comprehend how many policemen will be needed in that city to take control of this unspecified atmosphere to be expected there. And this is without even mentioning the fans from Africa or Asia. As I said, it's a beautiful idea, but it's rather a fiction. FIFA said no. And here we begin with the missed shot. Let's start it off with how no love has been shown to the fans. With the ticket prices, around $200 is the average ticket price if you count all the games together in this Club World Cup. And let me show you a valid example how this is doing no good work for the average Argentinian, for example. Let's take the fact that the average monthly salary in Argentina is around $500, and you already know where I'm going with this. If River Plate or Boca make it to the quarterfinals, which is a big probability for one of the South American teams, they would have to give out 2 monthly salaries just to watch all the games. If they make it magically to the finals, we are talking about a quarter year of salaries just for the tickets. Should I even mention Egypt, where the average salary is $300? The hotels, the transport and so on will probably leave someone bankrupt, but aren't really an argument because there's no way having a country where it would financially fit everyone in the world. We need to be realistic. At least the tickets should correspond to the standard of different countries, and believe me, if FIFA's income of $1 billion from the zone is the only one known besides all the other sponsorships, some reduced ticket prices for fans that can prove they are from a country with a weaker standard should be in notice. It will really be a shame to not see such amazing fans in their full numbers under the same roof, but this is not the only problem. It would be good if this was the only thing besides the confusing stuff happening behind the scenes. We are talking about rubbish picks for the tournament. There was a lot of controversy going on about Mexico's Club Leon as they got disqualified because of multi-club ownership. Yes, you heard that right. So what is with Man City, whose majority shareholders, the City Football Group, also own 44% of Girona? Or another European participant, Red Bull Salzburg, who probably has no connections to Red Bull Leipzig, or Red Bull New York, or Red Bull Bragantino, or Red Bull Liefering, like come on. Apparently the 12 clubs from Europe were decided by performances in the Champions League. The last 5 champions are there, which makes sense, and why are Benfica, Porto, Juventus, Salzburg here? No one of them is in the top 12 when it comes to the UEFA coefficient of the last 5 seasons. seasons. The Portuguese teams did reach the quarterfinals a few times in the last years, but Juventus and Salzburg haven't had a sniff of the knockouts in the last 3 seasons. In fact, Salzburg had the worst goal difference in the league phase, while Juventus is the only top club to get a 1-year ban from UEFA in the last 5 seasons. The craziest part of this story is with the left spot for the host club, which has not been given to MLS champions LA Galaxy, who is generally the most historical club in the USA. It was given to Inter Miami, who won the Supporters Shield. Why do the MLS playoffs exist then? Well, yeah, it truly isn't because a fellow Leo Messi plays there. I mean, there's also an argument that this tournament is one of several that now contribute to an increasingly packed schedule, adding yet more matches to players' already demanding calendars, and I'm quite on the other side of this narrative. It's a Club World Cup. It should stay exactly there where it is, not only because of its importance, and also because the thing about too much games doesn't really make sense in this case. We will take the most familiar as examples, the players from European teams. If you are a player who plays in Europe and is attending the Club World Cup, there is a big chance you are going far in your domestic competitions in the Champions League with some international games here and there, which adds up to around, let's say, 65 games. The exact number doesn't matter here. Because the World Cup is held every 4 years, we need to multiply the 65 games with 4, which leaves us with 260 games across 4 seasons. The best case scenario for the World Cup is going to the final, obviously, which is 7 games. So basically the 7 games to the 260 across 4 years are incomparable. And now when you add up the best case scenario of the Club World Cup, which is also 7 games for the final, it increases by what, 5.2% for FIFA in the amount of games they hold. I would rather say, what's the point of the Nations League if we already have the Euros, with other examples such as the Spanish Super Cup having semi-finals, which is basically water under the bridge now. The Club World Cup isn't an unnecessary tournament. It isn't also destroying the players. Rather, it is something we should treat as the World Cup, and I'm not joking. This idea of seeing intercontinental ultras and squads really going at it where everyone has the X on the map for treasure is something we've been missing in football, honestly. Nonetheless, someone definitely didn't strike the gold this year, and it is the organization itself. Yeah, sure, financially they did strike gold, but they are a non-profit organization, so why does it matter? Hopefully, they will learn from their mistakes, which would lead to one of the greatest tournaments that was precisely destined for the beautiful game.